Greenlee County, Arizona has a couple of towns. Duncan, population 812, is the most famous, if you can call it that. Just outside of town on the way to New Mexico used to be the Lazy Bee Ranch, once the family home of the first woman appointed Associate Justice of the United States Supreme Court, Sandra Day O'Connor.
I came from Greenlee County, Arizona, which never had a population of over 10,000 people. But both Maricopa County, with its 2 million people, and Greenlee County had the same number of members of the House of Representatives in Arizona and the same number of senators.
Huh? How can that be? Let's do the math. In one county, 10,000 people had one representative, and in another, 2 million people also had only one representative? That's like giving everyone in Greenlee County 200 times as many votes as someone in Phoenix.
Now, what kind of a makeup is that? What it meant was that the little rural counties in Arizona had control of the legislature.
And as it turns out, up until 1962, even though most Americans lived in cities or suburbs, rural counties dominated the legislatures across the entire nation. San Francisco was the birthplace of United States Supreme Court Associate Justice Stephen G. Breyer, who knew that the votes in his Northern California neighborhood had much more impact than the votes of his neighbors down south.
And when I grew up in San Francisco, I knew perfectly well that the people in Northern California had probably more votes in the legislature than those in Southern California. And I would think that's great. Now, Justice O'Connor was probably more fair-minded.
There's no question that today the American people accept the concept, one person, one vote.
But for half a century, our elected representatives did not. Legislators went unchecked, and the imbalance became more and more unfair. In the end, the Supreme Court, through a series of landmark decisions, made our voting districts essentially equal, establishing a principle of one person, one vote.
It totally changed the makeup of the legislative branches of government in our country.
But it almost didn't happen.